Hi, I'm Nilay Vaghela, and this is my final term project presentation, Twitter sentimental classification using NLP and machine learning for the Intro to Data Science subject. This is the outline of the presentation: introduction, motivation, objectives, scopes, and analyzing for development, modules, technology or platform which I used for development, implementation, and future work references. Um, Introduction, like why I choose this topic, because like Twitter has a massive user base, and most of the users are like most not most like all the users are active all the time and putting their real time like sharing their real time experiences about the brands or some locations, and like sharing their valuable informations like how they like the place or the product, some kind of. So we can use this analysis system, like sentimental analysis system for like brands can use that for tracking sentiments and reputations about their companies. Government and organization can detect a response in the emergency or response to emergencies faster. Marketing analysis, like brands can use for use the for seeing the reviews of their product on through the online Twitter, which and this motivation, like I said earlier, the like Twitter has exponentially growth of the social media platform. Like it is a primarily outlier for the public experience. Like why the sentimental analysis? Understanding public public sentiments help organizations to monitor their product or their services on real-time basis, and detecting emergency trades, or they can use for uh, use their or counter the emergency situations very quickly, enhancing the customers engagement and the satisfactions. Like they can enhance their services by using the reviews the customers put on the online platforms. And this is the objective, as I said earlier. And the main objective of this project is to, like this project is to classify the tweets into the specific categories that I mentioned over here: positive, negative, or neutral, using the natural language processing and machine learning. My goal is to deploy end-to-end sentimental analysis pipeline, um, and which can process the real-time tweet data for handling the noisy and slaggy or short texts. The mainly feature used in this project is TF-IDF, and I used models in this project, like the use the project used the models like logical regression, support vector machine, random forest, and k-means for clustering, enabling real-time predictions through the inference and scope. Like as I mentioned earlier, like which we can use this prod system for marketing, like understanding the feedbacks of the products and or services of the companies, like public policies. Like we can identify the trend and the issues of the ongoing political careers of anyone. Customer service, like we can prioritize and respond to the critical feedbacks in the real time. And like challenges and risks are handling information, language, informal language, emotions, and scams, classifying imbalance in sentimental labels, automating. Like this is the deployment. Like when the user came into my website, my front end, it put tweet inside the text box. The text was going to be processed, but like in the processing, we are going to remove the stop words, and we are also going to be like forming the text into the base form by using stemming. And afterwards is go to feature extraction, in which I use TF-IDF, which basically convert the text into the vector. And PCA, I use also PCA for the seeing the priority of the features. And afterwards it's going to be like sentimental classification. Afterwards the text goes into the model, and model is going to be predict. And as I mentioned earlier, I use logical regression, SVM, random forest, and I also used the k-means clustering. And then after the front end is going to be like give us the emotion of the text that we provided, either it is positive, negative, or neutral. Models, like these are the models that I use. Data preprocessing model, for which in which we are clearing the text by removing the URLs, hashtag, emojis, applying like lowercase top, like we are converting all the uppercase into the lowercase for the better prediction of the model. We are removing the stop words, we are doing stemming. And in stemming we are removing, like we are converting the word into the basic form, like beginning, it's converted into uh, begin. Feature extraction model, in which we are using TF-IDF, and we are also applied a PCA, that principal component analysis, to reduce the dimensity and the rental important features, return the important features. Model training modules, like we are use for the classification model, I use logistic regression, SVM, and random forest, evaluating performance on validation data. Clustering model, I use k-means for discovering the natural grouping in the tweet data and helping the understanding latest topics for emotional clusterings. Evaluating and visualizing model. For that, I use the for the evaluating of the model, I used like confusion matrix, accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score, through which I choose the perfect model, which is giving the perfect like which is able to which is able to catch like perfect emotion of the text. For that, like for this project, I use logistic regression, inference model, like accepting new dates input, processing and vectorizing, predicting statements to real time using traditional models. Technology and platform that I use. For the programming language, I use Python, libraries and frameworks. I use NLP for the and processing, in which I use NLTK for the NLP libraries. I use RE for removing the hashtags and the like hashtags and the symbols like exclamation mark and everything from the string. And feature extraction, I use sklearn for the DFID vectorization. Dimension reduction, I use PCA from the sklearn as well. Models, I use logistic regression, SVM, random forest, and k-means from sklearn or scikit-learn. And visualization, I use matplotlib and seaborn. Deployment tool, okay, so ID, I use Jupyter Notebook in VS Code. And version control, Git deployment, like I used fast API for the APIs, and I also use the HTML for the front end, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And data handling, I used pandas for the data handling and numpys for the metric operations. Implementation, like step-by-step workflow, we are collecting data and integrated, combining to tweets. Like for my training purpose, I used tweets training CSV, and validation purpose, I used tweets validation CSV dataset, which I downloaded from the Kaggle, removing duplicates and denial process in the beginning of this. Preprocessing, lowercasing all the texts, removing mention. Like I remove all, I didn't lowercase for all the string, like no uppercase letter any in the string for the better performance of the model. And removes the hash usage, like special character usage, URLs, punctuations, and the stop words. Applying stemming to reducing the word to the root form. And feature extraction, I use TF-IDF factorization to converting text into numeric format, and use PCA for dimension reduction. Model building, yep, I used logical regression, SVM, random forest, used 2080 training split percentage, applied k-means for clustering and unsupervised analyzing. Model evaluation, measuring accuracy, precision, and recall F1 score. Yeah, I used all these parameters for selecting the best model out of four of them. Use confusion metrics and classification reports. Influence and deployment. Like I use Pickle for the deployment of my model. Deploy, real-time prediction, future work. So, like in the future, I would like to use the NLP models like Brett and Robert to improve the sentimental classification. And in the future, I think I want to work on the multiple languages, not in a single language. So it can be used like on the large scale. Now I want to like improve my model to that can understand the emojis as well for the better emotional, like for the better classification of the sentiments. And these are the references that I used. And thank you. Now I'm going to show you my code, like what I did to, yeah, this is the code that I used. These are my Twitter dataset that I downloaded from the Kaggle. Okay, so I use pandas, RE, NLDK, sklearn for the vectorization, pre-processing, label for the labeling as well. I label the emotions in the categories like 1, 2, or 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And as we move further, this is the like I finding and deleting the null values, and it's kind of data reprocessing. I remove the duplications and null values. And this is like EDA, use Seaborn and Matplotlib, determining the positive, negative, and irrelevant from the data set. Okay, this is the another graph that showing the histograph, showing the number of the characters, the tweets, and distribution of the land. So all the EDA work that I did, and from here, like I started here. This code is for RE that I removed the stop, like I removed the stop words and the hashtag and all the like excellent, like uh, exclamation marks and everything. I removed it over here. This is my code. This is the stemming process that I used to convert the word into the base form. This is not this code is used for just for like I using Mac, so in which I need to be given this kind of like this is certificate instruction code because it's like rise issue for my SSL. Yep, this labeling that I did for my sentiments. And yep, this is the TF IDF code I only use 10,000 features in it. This is the PCA. This is a graph of the output of the PCA. Okay, so this is like I convert like giving the vectors like x variable is equal to x TF-IDF and y is equal to sentiments. We separated my data set into x and y labels. Okay. And here I split my data into testing and training by using testing size 0.2. That means I'm going to like 80% of the data is going to be for training and 20% of the data is going for the validation part. Um, I used random state 42. So this is my first model that I use is that is logistic regression is the 72% accuracy. And this is the confusion matrix graph that I use for visualization. And this is the pickle code to abstracted model. And this is the pickle model over here as well. Afterwards, I use SVM as well, which I got 75% of the accuracy. This is the random forest classification that shows 92% of the accuracy. This k-means model, k-means clustering. In that, I got 29% of the accuracy. Okay, that's it. Among all the models, like when I used it for the real-time data, I got more accuracy in the logistic regression in the real-life data compared to all of them. So that's why I selected the real logistic regression. The random forest, which shows the more accuracy in the project, like here, among all of them, the random forest shows the 90% of the accuracy. But a random forest we basically use for chatbots and stuff like that because it's give more accuracy when we have to use the data for output. Like we are not going to use it out like the model for the output data. If we are using data for as a data, then we got more accuracy. That's why we didn't pick the random forest. And SVM and logistic regression, I put both of them to the for the real-time data. I got more accuracy in logistic regression. That's why I choose this model. Okay, that's it. And this is my front-end project afterwards. Like this is my main PI file. I use fast API for deployment. I also use like JWT for the token and the purposes. I also created like so this is my pre-processing the for the data that I was going to be given my front end. Just clear text, applying stemming. These the APIs that I created. And yeah, there's a token stub over here. Okay, so like this is my front end page. First we go to the signing part. Now I'm going to use Nilay at 12. We put password as same as this. Let me see, I run the project or no. Started running project. I run the main API, main PY file for everything. Okay, the file is running. Yep, successfully signed up. And here we can see, then login, Nilay at 12, Nilay at 12. As you see, I successfully log in. Oh, nope. Yep, maybe I did something wrong. Now for the detection, I open the Twitter. Twitter is now converted to X. Let's choose this Restaurants thing. It is like showing like your low calories carbs and everything. Yep, this is a project positive text. And nothing. Okay, let's we use this Modi's tweet. Let's check that. What are the negative emotions? If you identify this, yep, they will take a punishment. Yeah, so you can clearly see this. This is the negative text. So we get the negative emotion. So that's it. That's my project. Thank you for listening me.